FightHype.com here at Battleborn Boxing Gym in Reno, Nevada. Gabriel Flores, pro debut Saturday night.
Friday night.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Friday night. I think everybody's thinking of Saturday's big fight. But big event, big opportunity here. You got a lot of press from being the youngest ever signed top-ranked fighter. How much, any added pressure does that add to turning pro?
Pressure makes diamonds. You know, I perform the best under lights, so I think it'll make me perform better.
All right. Well, you were a top amateur. Was the top-ranked deal just too good to pass, or was there another reason why you didn't pursue maybe the Olympics?
Too good to pass, you know. And I saw the Olympics. I didn't see too many good things come out of it. I seen bad decisions again. I seen that it wasn't on TV, and so I was like, you know, going pro is a good idea now. It'll be good for me.
Yeah. How many amateur fights did you have?
98.
98. At what point did Top Rank first start talking to you?
In like June.
Okay.
And June of last year.
You fought plenty of amateur fights here in Reno. You're turning pro here. Besides turning pro in Stockton, is this the next best thing that could have happened?
Yeah. You know, a lot of people from my hometown are coming because it's a lot closer to them than Vegas or something like that. So a lot of people are making the drive. It's nothing to them, and they're here to show support.
Yeah. When you arrive to town, does the altitude, you're used to fighting up here, does the altitude make any difference for you?
Just a tad. But I'm in shape. You know, coming from Stockton, California, the altitude is a little lower. But, you know, it's nothing. You know, I'll push through it like a fighter does.
And Stockton, California, a lot of maybe bad media, bad press, but then when you look at fighters with the Diaz brothers and past fighters that have come out of Stockton, how big is it for you to represent the country, the city, and even your family and all that? So.
Oh, it's very important. You know, my city's counting on me. You know, my feet hurt. I got my city on my shoulders, but it's nothing. I love my city, and I do it for them too. And I can't wait to bring the W back home.
Yep. Turning pro this young and signing so young, are you? I mean, you obviously have patience to climb the ladder, or is there a certain time frame that you want to be at fighting the top guys sooner rather than later?
Of course, you know, we know our pace. You know, this happened as fast as possible. You know, if this could happen overnight, it did, because I was the youngest ever to be signed. You know, 4 days after my birthday, I'm turning pro, so it happened very quick.
Local fighter Humberto Guillen's getting attention. He's turning pro on the card as well. Young fighter, up-and-coming fighter himself, pretty good amateur from the area. But one of the things that's big on his story is also that his mother had passed away a few years ago, and he's doing that. You had a similar experience. How big of a motivation factor for your entire life is that?
You know, it's just my mom loved to see me fight, and you know, I can't give up on my dreams now. You know, my mom still wants to see me accomplish my goals, so that's what I'm here to do. So I'm fighting in my mom's name, and I'm fighting for my city, and I know she's gonna watch me the whole time.
Gabriel Flores Sr., big opportunity. You brought up your kid from the beginning. How proud are you of this moment?
I'm extremely proud. We're just really focused right now and ready for Friday night. Can't wait for little Gabe to put on a show on.
You've already trained several pros. You have a stable. You were talking before the interview of who you have. How much is that experience going to help you as a coach as you guide his career from the beginning, as opposed to maybe just having guided only your son?
Oh, it helped me tremendously. You know, trial and error. You know, you learn to deal with different attitudes, different people. People have make weight difference, so it did help me a whole lot actually.
To speak on my pops though, I haven't seen that error he's made in the pros. You know, straight from the gate, I feel like he had it locked down. You know, every fighter is trained. He had to perform great. He had to make weight great. You know, everything my dad worked with them, they did perfect, and it came out beautiful.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Gabe, Senior, certain commissions are now taking a stand and sort of like keeping parents away from the corner, or at least from being the chief second.
Right.
Your opinion about all that? How do you feel as far as guiding his career and maybe making wise choices for his safety if it came down to it?
Right. I think it varies on the person and the relationship between the fighter and son, because obviously, I mean, dad and sons obviously do work. Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Shane Mosley. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Sean Porter. I mean, you can go, but I mean, and on the other hand, there's a lot of negative things that happen also. I mean, Danny Garcia. I mean, there's a lot of negative also. So it goes, you know, with anything hand in hand. You know, there's good and there's bad. But me and Gabriel have a great relationship. We have a good understanding, and he knows I'm looking out for his best interest, and I'm really hard on him about his technique, so he takes that in good. Like, he doesn't see it as a negative at all.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you mentioned Danny Garcia. His dad gets as much publicity as he does for his antics.
If not
like,
more.
Yeah, Robert, the Ghost Guerrero's father is known.
Right.
Definitely, you understand how you have your son's back and you're supportive of him. But what can we expect from you? Kind of on the public end of it, how much are you going to stand behind him, or does he stand on his own?
I mean, I stand behind my son. I mean, I'm obviously going to speak up for him if I have to speak up to him. But he's his own man. He's really intelligent. He's not a dumb kid. So, I mean, he's respectful, and you're not going to see none of that at the press conference, any disrespect, unless somebody gets out of line first, and then for sure we'll react.
Yeah. What age did you start boxing, Gabriel? And also, how would you describe your style in maybe some of the fighters you've looked up to that you've studied?
I started fighting at the age of 7. Now it's a decade since I've been in the boxing game. And I'm a boxer puncher. I'll box you, I'll counter you, I'll press you if I have to, but smartly. And when it's time to close the show, I'll do that. And what was the other question? Oh, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was the one I looked up to and watched a lot of his fights when I was young. I couldn't watch all 12 rounds. I'll get tired of it. But when Roy Jones showed up on the TV, I was there the whole time. And so Roy Jones was very entertaining to me. I loved his style. I loved how he showboated. I just loved everything about him.
How would you react to, you're looked at as the next, like another golden boy, almost with having signed with Top Rank, and a lot of similarities there with Oscar De La Hoya. He had a lot of people that didn't like him because he was so popular, and he had these, he was signed. Are you ready for that kind of criticism from maybe the haters out there?
Of course, I make every negative a positive. That's the life of that's the story of my life. And if they call me the next golden boy or something crazy like that, it'll be an honor. But I'm gonna make my own legacy, of course. I'm gonna be Gabriel Flores. But if people look at me like that, then I must be doing something right. People talk all the time, but you're not supposed to pay attention to that. You're supposed to pay attention to you and your team and getting that W.
And how much love and support do you get from your hometown when you're around?
I get a lot. I get a whole bunch of support. So I show love to my city. I'm very humble. If I'm eating lunch and they come to talk to me, take a picture, I drop my fork and I'll take a picture with them, no problem, because I show appreciation back.
There was a big heavyweight fight in London with Joshua and Klitschko, and it's brought up a lot of attention. It's the first time I have customers, in my line of work, my day job, that they've emailed me, and they're the first time ever that they've said, "Hey, did you watch that fight Saturday?" They knew I was a fighter and stuff like that, but I've never heard any feedback from customers. And now suddenly they're asking me, like, if I saw that fight. There's interest now in the mainstream, and hopefully there's some momentum now. People that thought boxing was dead and that never really went anywhere. But how important is it for a great show for this weekend to follow up from last weekend?
Oh, it's very important. That was a great fight. I watched it. I was entertained. I loved it, and I'm trying to do the same thing, except for I don't want to get hit like that. I want to make sure I do the hitting and I do the dodging. So that's my plan, and come out victorious. With the power of God.
And for the fight Saturday, Canelo Alvarez and Chavez Jr., how do you see that fight?
I see Canelo getting the W. Maybe he'll start off a little slow, a little mellow, because Chavez is so much bigger. But I don't think that will put too much of effect on the fight. But I feel like Canelo will come out winning unanimously.
Yeah. You just going to let Top Rank handle everything, Gabriel, as far as his development, or is there a timetable that you have set, a certain amount of fights that you want to see him in?
No. I mean, I'm going to work with Brad Goodman, and we're going to work together. Obviously, I'm his manager, and Top Rank's the best in the world at what they do. Brad Goodman is like the best matchmaker you can have. So I'm going to trust what they say, and they'll trust what I say, and we'll work together. And I believe everything's going to go great.
All right. Any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to shout outs or anything?
I just want to say a shout out to my city, Stockton, California, for coming out here, buying a lot of tickets, buying a lot of shirts on rephard.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you.